What up, YouTube? I'm back. So this was a great ass episode, man. It was really, really good from beginning to end. At the beginning, we kind of saw a sect, of people. We don't know who they are. They didn't tell us who they were, so that was kind of interesting. They're probably gonna be the enemy, for future episodes. We saw these two guys. We've never seen them before, I think. So it will be interesting how important they will be in the story. And then we saw that dude right there. We've actually seen him in last week's episode. I think he was the one that was training Kang Musuk or something like that, So it's gonna be interesting to know how strong he is and what his role will be, in this series. So the scene right after that was Park Mujin, the leader of the administrators. He was looking at Mori's basically information, and he saw that his grandfather was Jin Taijin, So that was quite interesting because he was kind of surprised, and then he said, I see, so he's, and basically I think he was gonna say he's Taijin grand child, So I thought that was quite interesting reaction from Park Mujin. But anyway, man, after that, we got back to the tournament. Mira was going up against Ma Misoon. She's a wrestler, from America, and we got to know a lot about her in the episode, while the fight was going on. We already know a lot about Mira, she wants to rebuild, the academy that her family has, her dojo, so we already know about Mira, but Ma Misoon basically wants to win this tournament because she wants men, she wants beautiful men, interesting men, and everything like that, so she basically wants to be all powerful, and have men around her, so that was kind of funny to me, the way that she was reacting, just thinking about it, I thought it was really, really funny. But it's understandable. I know that there's a lot of people in the world that would want something like that. But anyway, the fight was going on, and Mira was getting beat up, man. Obviously, her fighting style isn't really compatible to Michonne, because she's a wrestler and her body is pretty strong, So Mira's wooden sword isn't going to hurt her a lot. So while they were fighting and Mira was getting beat up, she lost her wooden sword and then had to use her own body, and basically her own body is stronger than her wooden sword. So I'm wondering why she's using a wooden sword and not an actual sword, So that's one of my questions. Hopefully it will be answered, a little bit later in the series, but she basically slashed the wrestler. I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm gonna call it the wrestler. She basically slashed her with her hands and beat her with her own limbs, So that was really interesting. I'm just wondering why she's using a wooden sword. But it was a really good fight. I really like how they animated this fight, especially for Michonne, because she's a wrestler, and I think they did a great job for her moves, so it was really good. Now, obviously, Mori had to be punished because he intervened in last week's fight between, Kang Masuk and the other dude. I don't remember his name exactly, but he intervened in that fight, so he had to be punished. And his punishment was basically to fight this dude right there, one of the administrators. And if he won that fight, he would be able to continue to fight in the tournament, So I thought that was gonna be great, and we're gonna talk about that fight a little bit later in the episode. But yeah, man, it was interesting. Mori obviously isn't scared of nobody, it seems like, so he was kind of excited to fight him, even though he wanted to fight, the blondie before that, so all of that was quite interesting, man. He doesn't care who he fights because he always thinks that he's gonna win. When Mori left, Park Nugent gave him some fruits, and at first I thought that they were normal fruits, but it was some fruits that were in that thing right there, in that image that I'm showing you guys right there. So they were special fruits. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but because Mori ate them, he wasn't doing well. He bled from the mouth. He was unconscious, and it was quite interesting. They're special fruits, and Park Nugent said that he gave it to him to see if he's really that dude. So that was quite interesting. Something that I really like seeing in this week's episode was Han and his friend. He's in the hospital, he's ill. I'm guessing that he has cancer or something like that, because he doesn't have hair. So it means that he had to do some, procedure to, fight this disease. But it seems like he really likes his friends. That's one of the reasons why he has multiple jobs. That's the reason why he entered the God of High School tournament, and even his best friend's sister has multiple jobs. So they're trying really to pay for you know his pills, so that he can get better. So that's one of the moments that I like the most about this week's episode, because of how much Han cares about his friend. Anyway, just before we talk about Han's fight, I just want to say that I like this shot right there of all the administrators. I thought that was a pretty cool shot of all of them. Obviously, my favorite is the female one, just because, but yeah, man, I really like her design. But anyway, man, Han was going up against Baek Sin Woo or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's pretty hard. It's even harder than Japanese names, in my opinion. But yeah, they were fighting, and obviously we know that the other dude has a bat. He fights with a baseball bat, basically, and Han is a karate expert. So their fighting style is completely different. One is utilizing a weapon, and the other one just his fist and sometimes his leg. So that was quite an interesting fight. Obviously, the one with the weapon was pretty dominating the whole fight, basically, because Han couldn't get really close to him because of the baseball bat. But at one point, the dude just slipped, and because he slipped, Han tried to help him out, and that's how you knew how good of a dude Han really is. Even though it's a fight, he was trying to help him, and while he was trying to help him, he got hit, by the bat on his head. So I really like that moment, because it showed us how good of a dude he is, man. It was pretty great. But after that, that's when, Han got serious. He used one of his karate attack and basically broke, the baseball bat pretty easily, man. It was crazy. It was crazy how when Han started taking it serious, he started to just beat him up. But yeah, man, Han was giving Baek any kind of combination, man. He used his legs more in that episode, in that fight that we've seen in earlier episode, in the two earlier episode, so that was kind of cool. But he was hitting him with all kind of combination, man. The animation for that fight, the second part of that fight, was amazing. Even though Baek didn't have his baseball bat anymore, he was trying to keep up, but obviously that's not his fighting style. So it kind of ended pretty quickly because he didn't have his weapon anymore. So yeah, man, Han, basically, it wasn't easy for him, but when I think he started to take it even more seriously, it was game over. Anyhow, we gotta talk about Mori, because he ate the fruits that Park Nugent gave him, and because of that, he collapsed. He was bleeding from the mouth internally, and he got unconscious, and while he was unconscious, he kind of had visions. I really like the art, that it had while he was having vision, and it seems like in one of the vision we can see him, standing with some monsters or something like that, so that was really really interesting. But he had some visions about all that, maybe just because of the fruits, so I'm wondering what kind of fruits these are, because it did a lot, man. Because of that, he was bleeding, he went unconscious, and then he had some dreams and visions. So it was pretty weird. Obviously, he was kind of late to the fight that he was supposed to have with one of the administrators, but the only thing that he had to do is put him down once, and I thought it was going to be hard. I thought it was going to get take a lot of time for him to do that, but he took the administrator by surprise. He just took his glasses and then pushed him down, so it was really really easy for Mori to win that fight. So that was crazy, man. He took an administrator by surprise. That's how fast he was, so even I was surprised to see that he was that close to the administrator. And even Mori was kind of feeling different, he said that he was feeling hot, so maybe the fruits changed something into him, I don't know exactly, but that was everything about this episode. And everything that happened with Mori was crazy, man. And because of that, because of what Mori did to the administrator, he kind of lost it, he was pretty mad. And then he kind of summoned a ripper or something like that. It was really 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 weird. There's some powers that we still have to learn, in this world, but it seemed a little bit like what Kang Masu did in last week's episode. There was kind of a black purple energy, and that's what he did too, so all that was really interesting. There's a lot of things that we still don't know about the powers in this world. Obviously the other administrators had to help help basically Mori by restraining the dude back. Even Park Woojin came so that uh, I guess they could stop the fight. And because of that, it was kind of funny. But the one that was attacking Mori got his pay cut. He had a pay cut to his basically paycheck for 3 months, so that was kind of crazy. But yeah, man, Park Mujin said that he's definitely Jin Taijin's so-called tiger cub, so that was an interesting word, tiger cub. I don't know what it means, but it's all interesting, man. It was a great ass episode. It was easily the best episode of the first 3 episodes of this season, so let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below, and let me know what you think is gonna happen next. I do God of High School reviews every Monday, so subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things like Black Clover reviews on Tuesdays. I'm starting again tomorrow, so stay tuned. I do One Piece and Sword Art Online reviews on Saturdays, and then Boruto Naruto Next Generation reviews on Sundays. So yeah, follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, and like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot, man. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.